Alright guys, Survival Every Day. I was just going to do a little bit of a cleaning with the LCP, and I was also going to add in the spring kit. Now unfortunately I didn't have a video of me at the initially at the range with without this new spring kit in or the new trigger, so I was there with just in a stock standard configuration. So I won't be able to show you the before and after kind of things or results. But what I have here, the LCP is a dual spring. I want to say operation for the guide rod, and the one that came with it was a 9-pound, and as you can see from the Wolff kit, excuse me, Wolff spring, it comes in 11 pounds. Let me see if I can just magnify this. I'm really bad about putting it on magnification and then forgetting, and everything's out of focus, but 11 pounds. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 13 pounds and see how it is at the range. Also, what I wanted to try is some of the Ballistol. I've never used this before, and I use other cleaning items, but I wanted to just see how it was. I'm going to just try to give it a one spray over, get the barrel there. Supposedly environmentally friendly and not as toxic, I guess. I'm just going to coat that. Well, it is working pretty well. What's interesting, I don't know if I have a ball brush or a rag for that particular size. Let me check here. When in doubt, always grab your yeah, I'm probably going to get some bad comments about this, but when in doubt, always grab the your 223 rifle kit, because really it's a 223. It's a 22 caliber, so I can't imagine this being any bigger. And so this is basically, yeah, it looks like the Ballistol is working pretty well. And let's see here. The trick though is you know, I don't know, I'm always leery of using any kind of chemicals, especially when you're talking about polymer guns. Oh, and sometimes I use gloves, so yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to smell like gun clean and lube. So, and I'm going to do something that I see Hickok 45 do all the time, so I'm going to give it a spraying and see what happens. Alright. It's got an interesting smell. I don't know if anybody's used it, or if anybody's had any. I guess it's too late now to tell me that you've had a bad experience on a polymer gun. So, yeah, look, it's cleaning up pretty well. I use a toothbrush for getting into some of those cracks and crevices. It's probably going to eat up my Glock Armor's mat. But like I said in the other two videos of this particular gun, so it looks like I'm making a third one here. But I wanted to show the changes to it and upgrades, and the reason being, and as you can see, look on the back of this hammer. I'm going to show you here real quick. When I mentioned before that on this hammer there would be a symbol printed or stamped in showing that it was that the firing pin had been replaced. That was the one sort of recall on the gun. Okay, so you have to push out this back portion of the grip. It's a little plastic detent. Put a center punch in here, push it out, and then what you have is trigger spring assembly. Now I'm going to try, I don't think this thing's going to do it. See if we can try and pull it up with this. Yeah, no, it's too strong. It's a very strong spring. See if I can pull it up and twist it. Okay. Well, that wasn't very graceful. But this holds the trigger spring. That's going to be a bit of a bitch to get back on there, I guess. But anyway, so what I've done is, and now I just lost my little placer here. You knock out these pins, and which I just knocked out one. And you gotta, there's an order to this, and I really didn't follow the order. I should have, but let's see if this will knock out. Sorry if you can't see that. Yeah, you can't see that. Sorry, guys. So anyway, so out comes these two pins, and I'm assuming this pops out here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that out. There you go. So this is the internal mechanism of the little LCP. There's some people that stone this transfer bar right here, and this came from the factory that oiled. I don't think that Ballistol got in there and did that, but anyway. So the reason why I took this apart, and that is to A, take a look at it just out of curiosity, and then B, because I'm going to take this spring out, the spring off, and be careful. I'm sure this is wound pretty tight. There you go. There you go. And then I'm assuming this pulls out. Actually, nope, there's a little pin in there. I think it pulls that side. Alright, let me just take a quick look at that. Okay, so after reviewing, there's a pin that comes out of the top here, which then enables you to pull the spring out, and then this component that the trigger pivots on. So I'm going to put in the new trigger, okay, and then I get it in there. I guess it goes in this way. Well, at least you guys are kind of learning with me. I don't know if you've ever taken apart your LCP. Hopefully the machining on this, I've cut, yep, there you go. Wow, look at that. That fits in there very nicely. And the spring fits in there too. So now I have to put this back in there. Okay, so sorry for the stop-go with this video, but I'm kind of learning as I go along. I should have really done it, or did it, excuse me, did it, and then videotaped it, but I wanted to kind of progress along. And so basically, very clever, this gentleman had put in a Allen screw in here to tighten it up to the pin that goes down into the trigger. Very clever. I mean, wow. Again, wow, this guy's craftsmanship. If you have an LCP, I would so recommend, just from the craftsmanship of this, I'm assuming that it's going to work fine. So we'll find out when we go to the range. I just wanted to add just a kind of a funny side note. Those crappy Tecton pin punch that I got, I had to bend it and then grind it to get rid of that mushrooming from my AR dilemma with these things, pieces of crap. But it worked out. Just a side note. So I finished everything up, and this is what the gun looks like now, and it's all cleaned with the new trigger. I don't know if you can see that behind that nut. Hold a second. Make sure you can see it. With the new trigger installed, the Sweet Pea, and I gotta tell you, real quick. Again, it's unloaded. Okay. So this trigger really does make a huge difference. When I was installing it, I did that yesterday, and the day before, with all the rounds shooting through it and dry shooting it and practicing, yeah, I was starting to get a little bit of some bruising on my finger. Now I've noticed that that's really gone. So, but the trigger looks really nice, and it's changed. It seems like it's a little bit smoother. It feels like it's just a little shorter for the actual firing. Also, the magazine extensions, okay, they really do give you a nice amount of real estate there. So as you can see, I mean, it really has changed the looks of the gun, and really nice. Now, one thing I did notice real quick, and I want to mention that, and this is with this extension on the magazine. I noticed last night I went out and I had a different type of pants on, and it was a deep pocket, but it was a narrow pocket, and this actually was felt like it was catching when I was pulling it out of my pocket. So it's something to consider. You may want to leave one magazine with the flat base plate on it, so that, you know, I call this the no excuse to carry gun. So you don't want to give yourself any excuses not to carry a gun if you have a CCW. Anyway, so I did get the Fovus Pancake magazine holster, and it holds 2 mags, which is really nice. It's kind of odd though. Look at the size difference between the actual holster and the Pancake holster. And it's got 3 rivets, whereas this only has 2. And I'm assuming it's just because of the weight with the magazines. But there it is, the LCP, the Arizona Special Edition. Thanks for watching.